Bellinger from the Cubs. Oh my
Really?
That would be savage.
Oh my God. I mean, it's all talk, but still.
I
mean,
can't do trade rumors. I mean, it's MLB's not as bad as NBA, but NBA trade rumors, like, you'll get 700 trade rumors for one actually trade that happens. And then a trade rumor on NBA Twitter will spark, like, hours and hours of talk. And it just isn't even close to happening. It's just stupid.
MLB's not as bad. I will say that not usually, but most of the times it feels like the names that are talked about usually end up getting moved, depending on where, if it's actually that team that they actually ever talked about is a different story. But I mean, yeah, it's all, you're right though. It's all just Fugazi stuff anyway.
Yep. So what's up? Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to all. We got a vacation coming. Well, a vacation if you work in this in baseball betting. This is the last day for a few days. I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself. I might actually have to find a hobby other than work.
I'm going to sleep in. That's what I'm going to do every day.
We have Nathan with us. You probably saw him. I tagged him in a tweet. Might know him from Twitter. His first time on the show. This is not the best baseball day. We do have 14 games, but not only is it Sunday, which is, in my opinion, the worst day to bet baseball, but it's also the last day before the All-Star break. So who knows what kind of weird shit Major League Baseball has in store for us today. Like this is an 8-1 Oakland wins type of day. Don't worry, I'm not betting Oakland again. I lost to them two days in a row. I'm just saying this is the type of day where that kind of shit happens. So, like I said, 14 games to go through. Let's start with Texas at Washington, and I'm hesitant to give to bet this because I have my long shot dogs I've been taking haven't been hitting the last couple of days. So I'm gonna put Nats or pass. I wouldn't bet Texas here. Obviously, it's not hard to find some numbers to support why the Texas Rangers will win this game. You don't have to be a data analyst to figure that one out. But there's some things here that I like for the Nats. All right, so Dane Dunning seems to have got his shit together, first of all. His last 4 starts, he's got a 2.28 ERA and a 3.84 expected FIP. If you remember, he started to struggle a little bit after starting off hot. It seems like that's now in the past. But against left-handed bats, his FIP and expected FIP numbers jump up pretty high. He's actually struggled a little bit against lefties, and the Nats lineup's probably going to have 6 lefties in it today. Actually, their lineup's probably confirmed by now. I wrote that early this morning before it was confirmed, but I'm guessing the projected lineup had 6 lefties in it, so it might not 6, right?
Yeah, they got 6. Adams, Candelario, Ruiz, Dickerson, Smith, and Garcia.
Yeah. So, and Dane Dunning splits against lefties don't look great. So I don't love the spot for Dane Dunning. Also, if you remember old school Dane Dunning last year or even 2021, for some reason, always got rocked in day games. That's not really the case this year, but that used to be a thing, I swear to God. And then don't look now, but the Washington Nationals have been scoring runs against righty starters. I know Graham Ashcraft, Brett Kennedy, and Luke Weaver don't move the needle for anybody, but before that, they scored 4 on Zach Wheeler. They scored 4 on Logan Gilbert right before that. And then, oh no, that was it. That's the end of my list here. But they scored 4 runs on Zach Wheeler, 4 on Logan Gilbert. So the Nationals lineup scoring runs on righty starters here and there. I don't think we can count on Dane Dunning to shut this lineup down at all. And then on the other side, obviously, it's tough to make a case that Patrick Corbin's going to pitch well against the Texas Rangers lineup. I get it. He just got rocked at home by the Reds in his last rocked in his last start at home by the Reds. The only thing I will say, and hear me out on this, the Texas Rangers have basically seen no lefty starters. They saw Joey Wentz back on June 28th. That was like 11, 12 days ago. Before that, you got to go all the way back to Reed Detmers on June 14th to find the last time Texas Rangers saw a true lefty starter. So, yeah, the Rangers' numbers against lefties are great, but since in the last 4 weeks, they've seen one lefty starter, and it was Joey Wentz. Look, I'm not going to say Patrick Corbin's going to pitch a good game, but then you add on the fact that the Rangers have 5 guys in their lineup playing in the All-Star game that are going to be traveling probably tonight. I don't know, might be a little distracted. I think it's worth a shot on Washington.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't play the Rangers personally. I'm just looking at batter props in this game. I lean over. I haven't bet it, but you can put over or pass for me. I'm just trying to get myself. I just truly believe that we're going to see runs here today. There's a couple different guys on each of these teams that are lefty killers on each of the lineups. Ezekiel Duran, Mitch Garver. Who else? There's two other guys. Jankowski and Jung all have $1 OPSs against left-handed pitching as far as Texas is concerned. We all know that Lane Thomas is a lefty killer. Abrams is Adams is a lefty killer for the Nats as well. So I'm just going to try to take advantage of that what I can, a couple hit props. But for right now, it's over a pass for me.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Nate, you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. I'm the same way here with Toast. I'm over a pass. It just seems like offense today. So, like you said, Duran is like a sneaky lefty killer. Not many people really think about that. Jung, Semyon, Garcia. I personally like the Rangers over, but I also like just the over in general. So I'm riding with you guys on that.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the next one. Seems like none of us really like that.
Oh, and I get a lot of questions about the bullpen, so I'll try to talk them every time. Texas, good to go. Washington, they're both essentially good to go.
Yeah. All right, next game. I'm passing on a lot of them, but this isn't it. I'm on the Cubs here, and I'm going to bet this. I'm going to take them at the plus money. I realize that it looks like the sharp action's all over the Cubs. You can see on this chart here. Public is pretty close to even, slightly leading Chicago this morning. Sharp action definitely on the Cubs. But the line has responded to it. It was Yankees minus 145 last night. It's down to minus 135. So it moved 10 cents in the correct direction. All right. I also would lean under. You know what? I'll put it on the screen because I actually have my notes Cubs and under. But I think my bet's going to be the Cubs. But I'll put it on the screen. Cubs and under. All right. So I just don't see any reason to trust this New York Yankees. Actually, before I start, I want to start a poll for this one because the ones that... Sorry, it's Sunday. So, by the way, the poll we just ran, our viewers 61% on Texas, 26% pass, only 12% betting Washington. Might have to bet them now. All right, Cubs, Yanks, pass. All right.
Might have to bet them now.
All right. So, like I said, I don't see any reason to trust this Yankees lineup against a right-handed starter today. Sure, the Yankees have started hitting lefties, as we talked about yesterday. That's why Yankees minus 1.5 was my top bet yesterday, which cashed, which was great because it was about the only one of my fucking bets that cashed yesterday was the top one. So I guess if I have to get one, I'll take the top one. But look at the recent right-handed starters that have pitched against the Yankees. You ready? I have a graphic for this one. And this is a little eye-opening. Toast, check this out. Oh, I only put 3 on it. There's a bunch of them on here. But here's the last 3. That's right. I was running out of time, so I only put 3. So Jameson Taillon obviously just pitched a great game against the Yankees. 8 innings, shutout innings. Kyle Bradish, 6 shutout innings. Dean Kramer, 7 innings, 1 run. That's the last 3 writers to pitch against the Yankees. Before that, they did get to Kyle Gibson. But then before that, there's like 6 more righties that all 0 runs, 1 run. The Yankees aren't getting to righty starters. If you take out the Kyle Gibson start, they've like 10 in a row. And I said but it is 10 in a row of righties that have pitched a great game against the Yankees. And Kyle Hendricks is pitching great right now. In his last 5 starts, he's got a 1.95 ERA, 3.32 FIP. Now, he does have a 4.74 expected FIP. Maybe worries me a little, but still, there's just not enough evidence here to lead me to believe the Yankees are going to hit Kyle Hendricks up today. Now, on the other side, we got Domingo Germán, and honestly, your guess is as good as mine. In his last 4 starts, he has a perfect game and 3 terrible ones. So, who the hell knows? His last 2 starts at home were pretty terrible. And I also don't have a ton of faith in the Cubs' bats. They did just get shut down by Garrett Cole, who is a righty. But before that, the 2 righties they saw before that, they scored 3 runs on Peralta, 3 runs on Adrian Hauser. So, maybe a little bit of life in the Cubs lineup. Not much. Either way, Kyle Hendricks versus Domingo Germán, I think huge starting pitching advantage on the Cubs, and the Yankees bullpen has gone cold. It's no longer one of the best bullpens in baseball. In fact, in the last 13 days, an expected FIP, Cubs 21st, Yankees 23rd. So I'm going to take the Cubs. I might bet the Cubs first 5 and full game, honestly.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree anymore. I'm on the Yankees. I bet them yesterday. I got them at minus 130 on win. I know they opened at 145 on some spots. But yeah, I'm just not there with Kyle Hendricks. I understand what Domingo Germán has done over the last couple of weeks, but I also think that pitching a perfect game, and I didn't expect him to come out
Toast gets emotional about the perfect games. That's what it is.
I don't at all. I'm just saying, like, I didn't expect him to come out and against Baltimore and pitch well. Like, I just didn't do. I didn't. That's not something that I expected. I expect him to pitch well today. I don't have any reason to think that. I mean, Seattle and Boston got to him, yes. But besides that, he's pitched pretty damn well. I mean, you neglected to go the fact that he went into LA against the Dodgers and pitched pretty damn well. I just feel like this is a little bit too cheap on a Yankees team that I still trust that bullpen a little bit more than Kyle does. I understand what the numbers have said, but I still think we have a little bit of a starting pitching advantage. I definitely think there's a bullpen advantage. And then there's like even guys like lower in the lineup, like Billy McKinney, have some good success. Only 3 at-bats against Kyle Hendricks, but with a hit and a home run towards the bottom of that lineup. DJ LeMahieu is going to get it going sooner or later. He has decent injury off of Kyle Hendricks. So it just feels like a Yankees type of win today. So I'm all over the Yankees.
Yeah, so thanks for tuning into another episode of Toast losing a bet to Kyle. And I'm going to get a plus money. I'm going to get a plus money one on him today. Nate, do you have a tiebreaker here?
Has the Twins scored yet in the night?
I was pissed at the Twins yesterday, man. Nate, do you have a tiebreaker in this one?
Yeah, I lean kind of with Toast here. I wasn't really betting anything on this game. Maybe I was going to take some Hendricks unders on strikeouts. He's just not really a strikeout pitcher. The Yankees don't strike out much. You referenced his xFIP. I just can't really get there with betting the Cubs. So if I'm gonna bet a side, I'm gonna take Yanks money line, and maybe I'll put a little sprinkle on the Hendricks under Ks. The 4.5 I think would be a good number. Under 4.5.
All right,
it's okay. You don't want to be a public dog, Pete, like Kyle. It's all good.
Oh my God. And the poll, the viewers agree with me here. 49% of the Cubs, 29% of the Yankees, 21% on pass. A lot of passes to start out from our community polls.
That's okay. That means you're sharp. If you're passing on games, I respect that.
I'm betting them all today. No, I'm just joking. You'll see. I think I have 3 passes in a row coming up in the middle of the slate somewhere. Oakland at Boston. Welcome to pass number 1. And you know what? It sucks because I took Oakland money line on Friday and Saturday, and I kept saying, hey, we're getting to that plus 200. If one of these cashes, all I need to do is go 1-2 in the series, and I'm going to finish even or maybe even slightly up. But that's not the price we're getting today. It's at like plus 140, and I don't even like it. It's almost like, do I think Oakland has a chance to win today? Absolutely. But it's just not juicy enough of a payout for me. I like JP Sears. I don't know. Pass.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at hitter props in this one. There's a couple of different guys on each side. I want to see lineups and go through all that stuff. It's early for me. I haven't. But guys like Rob Refsnyder, lefty killer, Adam Duvall is another guy I'm looking at. So Duvall's hits, runs, and RBIs is at 2.5 at plus money. That might be on the list. Refsnyder's at 1.5 for those hits, runs, and RBIs, but it's at like minus 150. But yeah, I'm going to look for a couple Boston guys, maybe an Oakland guy to pair him with some hit parlays. I'll post it later on Twitter, but nothing as far as a side or a total for me.
So overall, just pass.
Yes, sorry.
No, you said in the beginning, I was just doing the poll. And to answer the comment, yeah, I keep forgetting. I'm going to do the poll before I start talking. That's the best way to do it, to get everyone's vote before. Nate, you have a bet on this one?
I'm pretty much staying away. If you wanted to get something, you could, Red Sox money line. It's not great. Also, Red Sox run line, I think they're -1 right now, right? It doesn't look too bad, but it seems to be the saying of the day, like pass is probably just the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, with the All-Star break right on deck on top of Sunday, It's kind of a nightmare of a day.
Yeah.
It's one of those days where, like, I know if I get too deep into it, right, and I dive head first into this slate and find all these angles, that I could end up just throwing shit at my TV just because, like, this is so frustrating. None of this makes sense.
I mean, you could honestly, I could see, like, let's just take this Boston game, for instance. Like, I can honestly see these guys coming out playing a couple competitive innings, and let's just say Oakland goes up 5 because Tanner Scott gives up a couple bombs. Like, what is it for Alex Cora to be like, you know what? Let's just get these guys a day off. Let's get them out of here. Like, you don't know. Like, I'm not even saying that going into the game they're going to fold or try, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if you're down by 4 or 5, you know your bullpen's already taxed. Let's just pull our regulars. Let's get these kids in, and we'll start fresh after the break. That's what you don't want to get in the middle of.
Yeah, I hear you. I completely, I feel the same way. Next up, Kansas City at Cleveland. This is not a pass. I am the squarest dude on the planet for this one. I'm gonna play the 1.5 with Cleveland, and I know it's like painfully square. But it's did I write down the odds? I didn't write down the odds for this one. Shit, my bad. But I can
tell you right now.
Yeah, could you
minus 115 consensus.
Minus 115 consensus. All right, so Cleveland minus 1.5, minus 115. There's a lot of things to not like. I get how Shane Bieber just pitched against Kansas City. I guess that was about a month ago now, maybe a little less than that. But there's just way too many things here to point to Cleveland. First of all, Shane Bieber owns the Kansas City Royals. He might honestly own stock in that franchise. He just went into Kansas City and threw 6 shutout innings. That was on the road where he's been worse this year. Now he's at home where he's been pretty damn good. But that's right on par. That 6 shutout inning performance that we just saw, that's right on par with what we always see from Shane Bieber against the Royals. Since 2020, he's made 9 starts against Kansas City. He's got a 1.41 ERA and a 2.99 expected FIP. He just always dominates this team. Like I said, now he's home. And then on the other side, you got Ryan Yarbrough, who hasn't thrown a major league pitch in over 2 months. There's everything on paper points to Cleveland here. There's no Clase for Cleveland. Not only did he pitch back-to-back days, but he's on the All-Star team, so very highly doubtful that you see him. But still, I think Cleveland's just so much better than Kansas City. And if there's one lineup that a pitcher can just come back and throw a second good game against in the major leagues, it's Kansas City. So I'm going to take the square side and take Cleveland minus 1.5.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to get there with Kansas City. It seems to be starting to get a little popular. I've only been up for 45 minutes, and I've probably seen like 4 or 5 people on them. So that kind of scares me. Yeah, scares me a little bit. Old boy from yesterday's on him too. So no Class A. Trevor Steffens worked 2 of the last 3 days. He did have yesterday off, but Morgan and Henches both went yesterday, 15 plus each. I'm just not in love with it. I know that Sauce has been riding Cleveland. I wouldn't get to Kansas City personally, but with that tax Cleveland bullpen, I have no issue, or I have no need or want to play them at a big plus price or a big price.
All right, cool. Nate, any bets on this one?
Yeah, I'm staying square with you, Sauce. Probably taking Cleveland minus 1.5. I do actually really like the Bieber strikeout prop on MGM. It's only 5.5 right now. That seems like a really good number to me. So if you want a prop, I'm there. I think you could even ladder that thing up. Our projections over at OddsShopper actually really like 6.5 too. So yeah, I think I'm leaning that way. But if I'm going to bet a side, it's definitely Cleveland minus 1.5.
Yep. All right, cool. Cleveland up. Poll results. 35% Cleveland money line, 44% Cleveland minus 1.5. There are some people that bet Kansas City out there. Royals money line and plus 1.5. Next game, Atlanta at Tampa. Let's start a poll.
Why? I'm just saying, like, what are you gonna act like you're shocked when it's 95% Braves?
Let's see what everyone votes for. Whoa. Shocker. I'm going to take Atlanta at plus 100 or whatever the hell it's at. I mean, the odds makers are clearly daring you to bet the Braves at this point, and with this, it's clear that they continue to take a stance and take a position against the Braves in this series. Seems like the odds makers like Tampa all 3 times. They're going back to the same angle, and I'm going to take the Braves. You can see sharp action is all over Tampa Bay. Sharps love the Rays today.
That means nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably true. It's worth mentioning. But yeah, do I even need to give a description? It's not even like, oh, it's Soroka against Zach Eflin at home. It's a Bryce Elder who's been great. So yeah, I'll take the Braves.
That's what I feel about this game. Pass.
Yeah, my dogs are
Okay,
going
you want
nuts.
me, I mean, I can tell you. I mean, I honestly don't trust this Braves team. This is another game where they've hit a couple home runs. That shit won't last in the playoffs. That's all I can tell you. So
What
enjoy
more
your
do they
time
have
now.
to do?
Enjoy
What more
your
do they?
time now.
Question: what more do the Braves have to do to earn your trust? Like go like 92 and 3?
String hits together like you would do in October. But winning games 4-0 when you score one inning a game, go look in their game logs and see how many innings they score in. So if they hit home run balls all October and win a championship, I'll get a tattoo of the Braves on my ass right next to your Oral Roberts.
All right. Hopefully nobody clips that.
Yeah.
I hope they do. I got plenty of tattoos. It ain't nothing.
All right, Nate. You have a bet on this one?
I mean, I like Braves money line. I like the homers. I think they can do it. So I guess I'm fading Toast here. I honestly like
passing. Yeah.
Full disclosure, I'm just not. I'm probably not betting this game. But if I was gonna put some money down on it, it'd probably be. I mean, how can you dislike the Braves at plus 100, right?
The one of the comments says, "Do you guys ever pick the Braves?" I think I've picked Atlanta like 5 straight days.
When does Sauce not pick the Braves?
You're right, like what the hell?
It's me that doesn't pick the Braves.
Maybe I need to
I'm
switch
the
to
only
the
one
middle.
in the world.
Yeah, it clearly says Atlanta under my name for like several days in a row. And what do you guys think the results of the poll were?
If it's not 75% Braves, I'd be shocked.
It's 70% Braves, 19% Rays, 10% pass. All right. Toronto at Detroit.
I can see the comments too. I'll make bets with any of you guys calling me an idiot. I'll take bets with any single one of you. You know where my Twitter is.
Yo, Toast, you do have the comments.
Hit me up.
You have the comments buzzing right now. For real.
Hit me up, I promise. Because what happens is there's a lot of this, but when it comes time to make bets and stuff, it's like crickets.
Braves 39-1 in 40 games, Toast. Well, they don't string hits together. All right, let's
The same. Do you trust Enrique? I'm talking about real baseball, October baseball. That's all I'm saying.
I love how all this action came in on Detroit. I actually think we're getting a bit of a layup here on Toronto. I just think this whole line and everything about this game screams overreact. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me run a poll. I suck. Blue Jays, Tigers, pass. Poll run. Okay, so I think everything about this screams overreaction. Look, I'm not going. I know this on the left in the graphic. It says Toronto minus 175. That's where it opened. That's not where it is now. You can now get the Toronto Blue Jays money line against Detroit for minus 124. Like, I'm putting that on the screen because that's a big part of it. Is how low this price has dropped. I didn't like it at first. It was first to pass last night when I first looked at it. This price fell right into our laps. Like I said, overreaction. Tariq Skubal comes back from injury and throws 4 perfect innings. Look, I like Skubal. If you rewind back to last season, you can hear me and Toast speaking very positively about Skubal. We're big on him. That being said, this is an overreaction. He's just coming back from an injury and he pitched 4 innings against Oakland. He only threw 57 pitches in that game. Who knows how deep he's even going to pitch into this one? Toronto got held to 0 hits yesterday. Obviously, that's going to drive the public crazy. That probably gave us an extra 10, 15 cents on the price alone. Just that simple fact. I know Chris Bassett's numbers on the road are pretty terrifying at first glance. I get it. I've said it on here. That being said, his last few road starts, that expected FIP is coming down. It's actually not that different than his expected FIP at home like it was a month ago. I'm not saying I trust Chris Bassett on the road, but I don't trust the Detroit Bats at all. On the last 14 days, 27th in WRC plus versus righties. Like I said, coming off an embarrassing game for the franchise, I think this is a layup.
It early opened at minus 175. Damn. That's crazy. It must have went down really fast then, because I know people that were betting this yesterday at minus 1.
I can tell you, I track it. I can tell you exactly when it went down.
That's just so crazy. This is
I got it right here. It'll take literally 3 seconds. Hold on. It was at minus 170 at 11 a.m. yesterday, minus 160 at. So it dropped at, this is supposed to say 12 p.m. right here. So it dropped at
Yeah.
noon yesterday from 170 down to minus 127.
Huh. Yeah, that's a big ass drop. I was looking at a couple hitter props in this one. It's just a pass for me. I really don't want to get involved with this.
Do you want me to put them on the screen, or do you want people to just go to the Twitter?
No, just put pass. Just put pass because I don't know who I'm going to use yet.
So Toast posts his Twitter props. People ask me after the show all the time. His Twitter is right there under his name, and he's posting. He'll tweet so much about baseball that you'll have to mute him. So trust me, he tweets a lot of bets. His Twitter props will be on there. His hit props. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I lean Toronto. I really do. I think. Yeah, it's just really hard for me to get there on this today. I did want to see everybody's playing for them, which is a good sign. But yeah, I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about it. It's just a personal thing for me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I get it because when I first looked at the matchup, like I was literally typed Tigers or pass, thinking it was just going to be a pass last night, and then the line movement and everything that happened, and it actually moved before that, but I guess I just really didn't look too deep into it. And the big thing was Chris Bassett's away. Look, I'm a big Chris Bassett on the road guy. That being said, if you actually just look at the game logs in his last few road games, his expected FIP really isn't that bad. And now his expected FIP, I think I have it written down in my notes. His expected FIP at home, I think, is like a 3.72, and on the road, it's like a 4.45. Now, it's not even that crazy.
And also, like, look at his last 4 starts on the road. Mets, Baltimore, Texas, White Sox. That's not, like, easy money either.
And no, in that White Sox game, by the way, I had White Sox watch the whole game. He let up 3 runs in 6 innings. The 3 runs came on 1 swing from Robert.
Yep.
So he was actually pitching a great game. I don't know. I think this is I think this is one of those ones where a lot of people are overthinking it, personally. But we'll see. I've been wrong so many times. Nate?
Yeah, I don't think you can, like, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right? You just take Toronto money line. Like, when I was looking at this, I had the same feeling as you. I was like, I don't know, man. This kind of screams Detroit. And then you see that spike or that drastic plummet, and you're just like, how can I not take Toronto minus 124? I had it at minus 130, and I thought I was getting, good line. And then you see it at minus 124, minus 125. So that's where I'm at. I really don't think it really needs much explanation, right? Skubal, there's just a lot of unknowns right now, as you went over. So even without George Springer, the Blue Jays money line seems great.
Yeah, and you know what? It reminds me a lot of Friday night's game, because originally I had the same thing. I don't know if you guys remember. In Thursday night's overnight video, I took Detroit, and then I tweeted out, I'm no longer on the Tigers, because this same thing happened. The line had moved so much to the point where I was like, dude, I'm getting Toronto money line against the Tigers at minus 128, or what it was. Like at some point, the odds makers overplayed their hands and gave us a layup, and I think that's what's happening here. But again, Sunday, weird shit's bound to happen. Let's see what let's see what our viewers think.
It was awesome to see Manoah shove, though.
That was cool. Yeah,
and all those accounts just being like,
the private chat was buzzing about that because Danny Dirt came on and was like, he's striking out 12 guys, and like, I think he said it tongue in cheek, and then he went out there and had like 4 Ks through 3 innings or something. We were like, holy shit. So the poll, 60% Toronto, 23% Detroit, 15% pass. So seems like the community is in line with what we're thinking. Phillies at Marlins. I kind of want to hear Toast talk about this one because I think this is the biggest coin flip game on the board. This is a pass for me, but I want to hear what Toast has to say because he is passionate about both these teams.
I am passionate about both those teams. I took Philly on the money line for a full unit last night. Woke up this morning to being one of the more public plays on the dog, so puked in my mouth a little bit on that one. There's no changing it now. I'm in with it. I'm in with against the fish here. First and foremost, Luzardo hasn't given up a run in 3 starts. St. Louis, Boston, and Pittsburgh, all very solid. But he hasn't seen a lefty lineup that smashes like the Philadelphia Phillies do. Nola, on the other hand, I'm still holding out with a little bit of hope with Nola. I understand his road starts haven't been great this year. The Mets got to him in his last 4 starts. The Mets got to him a little bit. Arizona got to him a little bit. The Cubs got to him a little bit. But He went down to Tampa Bay. I understand that they're not playing as well lately, but he still went in there and went 7 in the third, only gave up 1 run. So I trust Aaron Nola to pitch well enough, at least to pitch well enough to get to keep the Phillies in this ball game. And then when we talk about getting into the second half of the ball game, that's where I feel like the advantage for the Phillies really gets into play. AJ Puck, Marlins closers, went 3 of the last 4 days. Tanner Scott,
he also sucks. He also sucks, but he's also went 3 of the last 4 days, so he will not be pitching today. Brazo and Okert both pitched yesterday, so the Phillies saw them. So you're looking at Florio, Chirigos as your top 2 bullpen arms as far as the fish. The Phillies concerned, they got every major arm in that bullpen rested and ready to go tonight. I would be a little bit more worried about the Phillies, but they're in a division with those Atlanta Braves that we love to talk about. The Phillies have been one of the hottest teams in Major League Baseball just with the Braves, and they've only made up I think they've still lost 3 games in the standings. So Philadelphia, with being in that same division as the Braves, and I understand that Miami's there too, but I don't think I don't think that Miami's going to be able to sustain that level of success all the way through the year like these other 2 teams, and they won't spend the money. So I just think this is a much bigger game for the Phillies to go into this All-Star break with a win, winning 14 of the last 15 on the road and what have you. So to get them at plus money, it was kind of decision was made for me. I would lean Phillies as well. I don't know if I'm going to bet it or not. It might just tail toast because he's got a unit on it, and it's fun to just bet with your friends in the chat. But Aaron Nola pitched, 8 1/3 shutout innings or something last time he went into 7 1/3. He pitched a great game against the Marlins last time he went into Miami.
Against Miami, yeah, it was 8 innings, 8 innings, no runs or something.
Yeah, I think it was 8 1/3 shutout innings, and I think he went into Miami too.
2022, 7-17, 8 1/3, 4 hits, no runs, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk.
And that was his last trip to Miami, correct? Yeah, that's what I looked at. So last time he went to Miami, he dominated this team. And I know a lot of people don't trust Aaron Nola right now, but I agree with you. I don't really trust Luzardo either. We've seen him really lay some eggs too. So I don't think I know his home splits look pretty good. I don't think he's as reliable as you may think, as it looks on paper.
Well, just really quickly, sorry to interrupt you. Let's go really quickly. Luzardo's last 4 home starts: Cardinals, trash; Pittsburgh, trash; Royals, trash; Padres at the time, very trash. So again, you're got good numbers.
No, the Cardinals, chill with the Cardinals though, because weren't they hot against lefties when they faced them, or starting to heat up? To heat up a little.
You're right.
The other ones I will give you though.
You're right. So, but yeah, my point's proven.
Nate, you have a play in this one?
Yeah, I'm probably passing on any sides here. I do have a question for Toast after I drop this, though. I really do I like to bet Nerfies. I think they're fun. A bunch of people really like them. I think this is a great Nerfie spot. It's a 7.5 total. So I think it just lines up. Luzardo's been great as a Nerfie pitcher. Marlins offense isn't fantastic by any means. What do you think about the under 7.5, Toast? Do you think that's playable?
Yeah, I don't hate it. 7.5, that's a small number, but the only thing that worries me is that the Phillies can hit the long ball, and if they get into that Marlins bullpen and it's like a 3-2 game and a 3-run blast kills it. That's the only thing that I worry about. But with these 2 pitchers and these bullpens, the way they've been pitching, it's kind of hard to go over as well. I get it.
Line's been moving towards the under, and the action's coming in on the under. This opened at 8. Dropped to 7.5 yesterday afternoon, and it's actually down to 7 on the consensus. You could probably still get it 7.5. Plenty of, that's. I mean, as of 11 a.m.
That's crazy. So I would probably maybe even a first 5 under. I don't know. I mean, that's. I
just have this feeling Nola's going to pitch a good game, and
so do I.
And I hate my whole angle. I have this feeling that's such a stupid thing to say on a betting show, but. I do. I really do.
I don't think it's stupid because you know what? We do this every single day for hours at a time. If we're not trusting our gut, what are we doing?
No, I know, but I at least like my gut to be backed up by some numbers.
Yeah, I get
it. This one is as split as it can be in the community. 44% Phillies, 41% Marlins, 14% Pass. So I don't know. And my data's showing the public pretty split on this one, Toast. So I don't know how public, maybe it's more public than you anticipated, the Phillies, but it's really not that public.
And yes, there is no Bryce Harper. I knew that last night coming into this before I bet that. So that's no news to me.
So I'd like to get the community's take on this one. Orioles, Twins. I really like the Twins. I shouldn't say I really like. I can never really like a bum-ass franchise like the Twins, but I really liked them yesterday. Toast had the Orioles. He got the best of me. I think you got it at plus money. You got me at plus. You got me on a plus one money hit there. It was nice. This is a pass for me. It feels like a coin flip. I would like to hear what these guys have to say.
I'm all in on Minnesota now. First five minus one, and our first five minus 0.5 at minus 115 on the money line as well at minus 145. Yeah, I really like the Twins to bounce back here today. This is more of a bet on Joe Ryan than anybody else. I understand that he hasn't looked as dominant as he did in the beginning of the year, his last couple starts, but one of those was against the Braves. And if you take that one out, he had a clunker in Detroit and a bad one on the road in Houston. I just don't think that this I understand that Baltimore's pretty damn hot, but I feel like that he can keep the Minnesota in the game. And then Kyle Gibson, a guy that was kind of trustable and that has been on a steady decline really since the middle of May. Threw one good outing against Milwaukee in there, but the Royals hit him for 3, the Cubs hit him for 3, Seattle for 5, Cincy for 6, New York for 4. I understand that Buxton isn't playing well, but at the same time, I mean, he had one robbed from him the other day. So I just think that this is a really good spot for the Twins to steal one here before the All-Star break. And then on top of that, I wanted to say, where is my bullpen notes? Yeah, I clicked on the wrong thing for my bullpen notes. But yeah, I'm on the Twins. I can't find my bullpen notes, but yeah, I'm on the Twins.
Yeah, I was leaning Twin too. I just hated the price.
Oh yeah, Minnesota's got everybody fully invested in it, ready to go in their bullpen. That's what I wanted to make sure.
All right, Nate, a pick on this one.
Yeah, really love that Minnesota first 5. I think you could also take Minnesota over. The Twins have some guys that really murk right-handed pitching. Correa, Gallo, Buxton. I actually like if you want to get spicy. I know it's not a great number. Buxton to hit a home run plus 375.
Yeah,
I like that, right?
There's a lot of people talking down on him because he's had a down month and a half or so or whatever. But I mean,
they're better at home.
Buxton. Yeah.
I just see. I feel like this could be a real big blow up spot for Gibson. Like you said, he's been on a downward trend. It just lines up for Twins for me.
Yeah,
And one other thing, I hate playing the Twins during the day. They're just one of these teams that just feels like during the day they just don't play well.
Yeah.
So for me to take this team in the day it means a lot to me. I know that there's no data behind that or anything, but I'm just telling you guys, it takes a lot for me to bet this team during the day.
Yeah, when we had Commish on that one time, he said the Twins always punt in day games, and he said that.
Sharp.
And he nailed that one. And then I just happened to remember that. And then the next time the Twins played a day game, it happened again. So again, I don't know the data behind it, but that there is some truth to that. All right, let's move on.
He's a sharp guy. I like.
Yeah,
that guy.
I'm trying to get him back on. He's always got he's a baseball coach and he's always in tournaments.
Yeah, that happens. Travel ball, baby.
All right, so the poll's pretty split on this one. 46% Baltimore, 40% Minnesota, 12% pass. So our viewers slightly leaning Orioles here.
I mean, and honestly, guys, if it was almost anybody else besides Gibson, I'd probably be on Bird Gang. But I just can't get behind Kyle Gibson.
What if it was Creamer on the road though? I'd still be on
I'd
Twins.
like him better than I'd take him before I would take Gibson right now. Personally.
Oh, that's rough. All right, well, you know what? Let's get a poll because it's Cincinnati Reds time. And our viewers love them Reds.
Well, yeah,
everybody loves them Reds.
Not me.
No, Kyle doesn't. Kyle thinks he got invited to the party. No one let him in, and so now
I was betting the Reds before I was betting the Reds before Toast even knew that team had potential this season.
Yeah, okay, because I'm the one that posted. Oh yeah, I'm betting the Reds to make the playoffs at plus 2,000 before Ellie even came up to the show.
I don't recall that.
That's okay. You can search it on Twitter if you'd like.
All right, so. I have 2 bets for this one, and so I like the Brewers, but I have some fear in me, so I'm splitting my bet in half. So let's put the Milwaukee money line up. What is it at? Like minus 120? I just put minus 125. But I'm going to split my money in half and put the other half on Milwaukee team total over 4.5 at minus 120. So I'm about to give you a bunch of reasons why I like Milwaukee. And then I'll explain why I'm splitting at the end. So I have zero confidence in Ben Lively, and you shouldn't either. Since June 1st,
I don't.
Since June 1st, he's got a 6.17 ERA and a 6.67 FIP. He's also better at home. This is a road start out in Milwaukee. We know that the Brewers bats. This is not the Brewers lineup of May. This is not the Brewers lineup of early June. This Brewers lineup is different right now. Certainly not an elite lineup, but I would consider the Brewers an average to a slightly above average offense right now. They just got to Ben Lively on June 4th. They scored 5 runs on him. Now, to be fair, Ben Lively did pitch 7 innings into that game. So 5 runs is not good, but when you go 7 innings into a game and only allow 6 hits and 3 walks, that's not that bad. But regardless, like I said, that was at home in Cincinnati, where Lively's better and where the Brewers bats are worse. Now you're in Milwaukee against a Brewers lineup at home where Ben Lively pitches worse. I mean, we just saw Ben Lively struggle to make outs at home in his last start against the Colorado Rockies. The start before that, he gave up 10 hits to none other than the Kansas City Royals. 10 hits. That's about a week's worth of Royals hits in one game against Ben Lively. I don't trust this dude at all, and I fully expect Milwaukee to score runs on him. Now, so let's say by some weird angle you found something that shows you Ben Lively's going to pitch a good game. I'm not seeing it, but let's say that's what you found. I would like to hear you try to defend the Reds bullpen in this spot, because not only has it been not even just taxed, we'll get to that, but it's been awful. It's been terrible. Cincinnati's bullpen is 30th in expected FIP in the last 14 days. 30th. Dead last. If you're an expected FIP guy, they're the worst bullpen in baseball right now. And, like Toast said, they are taxed. There are 3 main arms, who I'm sure Toast is about to talk to you about. They all pitched through the last 3 days, some of them through significant pitches. So the reason that I'm not all in on Milwaukee money line is because the Reds lineup is fucking crazy and just does weird ass shit sometimes. Like you can't just like put your bankroll against the Reds lineup and expect them not to explode, because sometimes they do. That, and also you got, I don't really know what I think about this, but you have Wade Miley pitching against his old team. I was just talking about this in the Jameson Taillon start against the Yankees. I don't know if that plays positively or negatively. I don't know if that means he steps up for the occasion or he shoves. He did pitch against them once in a Brewers uniform last year, and I think he went like 4 innings, 2 runs or something. So really not a lot of data there. I like the Brewers, but I think if I'm giving like my most safe betting advice possible, I think Milwaukee team total over 4.5 would probably be my favorite bet. I'll be betting the Brewers because I like betting the sides better, but I think my favorite bet would be the team total over.
I would love to come on here and argue with Sauce about taking the Brewers.
But you don't have the nuts for it?
I don't have any nuts for it at all in any way, shape, or form. I can't do it. I do like the over 9, though. I'll take my chances on the over 9. I don't like the fact that it was at 9.5 and went to 9. But just to give a little bit more context on that, on those both bullpens, actually. So usually you look at it in sets of days of 5. Like, okay, here's the last 5 days for these guys. Diaz, Sims, Jubot, Law, Farmer, Young, Duarte, all have worked 3 of the last 5 days. Like, not only did they work yesterday, they've been worked like Redded mules over and over and over again. This is a much, much needed break for that Reds bullpen. And as Sauce alluded to, they haven't been pitching well because they've been getting used a lot. Because why? That starting pitching is letting them down. All the bats are doing all the work. It's hard. But that Milwaukee bullpen, same type of issue for me. Devin Williams didn't work yesterday, but he worked 3 of the last 4 days before that. Pios, Peguero, all these guys have all worked 3 or 4 days in the last 4 or 5 days. So I just feel like it's safe to say that both teams can score runs. I mean, every time Willy Adames swung yesterday, it was a freaking home run, it seemed like. With Ellie De La Cruz stealing bases and Jake Fraley doing Jake Fraley things, never mind. He's not playing because he can't hit lefties to save his life. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I just expect runs here today. So over 9 for me.
Okay, so I could see your over, and I definitely would be on the over too. The only angle because obviously there's 4 angles, right? There's Miley against the Reds, blah, blah, blah. Bullpen against the hit-bats. But I think the Wade Miley against the Reds could be the overkiller. Because Wade Miley we've seen can be awesome. But, of course, I would be on the over, too, if I'm picking a total. So, but Wade Miley
I could also see Milwaukee winning this game 7-2.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
It wouldn't be that crazy to me.
Yeah, I agree. Nate?
This game could go so many different directions.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you said, you could get a 7-2. The Reds could score 15, and you wouldn't be shocked, right? You'd be like, "Oh,
not at all."
Typical Reds. I like the over here. I actually like over 9 a lot. It does scare me a little bit that it moved. Right, it moved that half run. I was looking at those same bullpen numbers you guys were looking at. So I think I'm pretty much in line with Toast here. I don't think I trust Miley as much as Sauce does. But I also don't really have the stones to come on here and argue like you said earlier. So shriveled up over here in the Midwest.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with their over, too. It seems like we're kind of all on the same page here, to be honest. I guess I just have a little more faith in Miley.
Really quickly, because I didn't say this. Miley's at-home start says, I know Kyle gives you numbers and stuff. He faced Chicago, Pittsburgh, and L.A. L.A. lit him up. Of course, he pitched well against Pittsburgh. Chicago Cubs, he went 5 innings.
He was hurt, bro. He's got his bearings back now. He was hurt.
Just putting it out there, dude.
You're putting out bad information.
How old is Miley? I feel like he's got to be old
enough to shove tonight. No, I would say like 31.
He's got to be older
36.
than that, right?
36.
36.
I didn't. I must not have known about him. When I got onto Wade Miley, he was already established on the Reds, so I guess I don't know what his early years were like.
He pitched for the Orioles,
Yeah, I didn't know that. Why Wade Miley?
Yeah,
I didn't know that Wade Miley.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that guy. All right,
Yeah.
So Cardinals at White Sox. Let's get a poll going. By the way, results for the poll: Cincinnati 68%, Brewers 20%, Pass 11%. So our viewers very heavy on the Reds. Shocker. Cardinals at White Sox. I don't think you know what? Let's put a poll up there. Cardinals at White Sox. Giolito pitching for the White Sox. Steven Matz pitching for the Cardinals. It's in Chicago. What do you guys think? Go. Poll out there. Because I think that they're going to vote the opposite of what I think. That's why I'm putting it out there. Yeah, looks like it's coming in. I'm on the Cards here. Now, it's not one of my favorite bets or anything.
Why?
You know how this show works. Usually I type it and then I tell you.
I didn't mean to say it out loud. God damn it.
Okay. All right, so I am on the Cardinals here, and this started off as just a straight fade of the public because the Chicago White Sox are the most public play on the board. That's how.
Holy cow!
Yeah, literally everyone's betting the White Sox here. Now that's how it started. So what I'll do is when I'm capping the game and I see that, I'll just write down Cardinals money line, and then I'll see if I can get there. Because sometimes I'll write that down and I can't get there. I was able to get there in this one. So. All right, so obviously Giolito at home. Now, the White Sox have been formidable against lefties. I get why people are betting the White Sox. It's Steven Matz, an unreliable lefty starter on the road in Chicago. Chicago's been, somewhat formidable against lefties. It looked like they were going to get hot for a second, but over the last 14 days, they're 15th in WRC+, so pretty mediocre against lefties, but compared to where they were earlier in the season, that is solid. Steven Matz has made 8 appearances on the road this year. He's got a 7.14 ERA in those appearances, but his expected FIP numbers are 3.79 and 4.54 home and away. So this is another guy that has an extremely inflated home away splits as far as ERA goes. I'm calling bullshit on that 7.14 ERA on the road. And again, this not a crazy Steven Matz guy, but I'm also not crazy at all about the Chicago White Sox bats. You want to know a unit that I do trust and I do think is good and hot right now? The Cardinals bats. Now, you might say, yo, Giolito's pitching and he's been good as hell at home. Completely fair point. He has. I like Giolito. That being said, this Cardinals lineup has been smashing good pitchers recently. Just in the last 2 weeks alone, We saw the Cardinals score 5 on Dylan Cease, 6 on Christian Javier, 6 on Marcus Stroman, 4 on Framber Valdez. You mean to tell me they can't hit up Giolito? Dylan Cease, Javier, Stroman, Valdez. Hit them all up. Really? They can't hit up Giolito? I trust the Cardinals bats, and with everyone betting the White Sox and I'm getting a plus money price. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I switched it to Cardinals first 5. I wrote that at the end of the
I was gonna say, have you not looked at that bullpen?
Yeah, I'm sorry. At the end of the notes, I switched to the first 5, and I started at the top. So it's first 5, and the reason I'm not betting, I'm so sorry. I hope nobody went and bet that the full game. I like the Cardinals to win the game, though. So if you went and bet Cardinals money line, I do like that. But the Cards bullpen is absolutely cooked right now. So be wary if you're betting the Cardinals that is a thing. Their bullpen's in bad shape.
Yeah, let's just go over those bullpen numbers because that's why I would lean over or pass for me. There's no way I would be betting the White Sox, especially knowing that I knew they're a little bit public, but that graphics is just ridiculous. So the Cardinals for this bullpen, Gallegos and Hicks both have worked three of the last 4 days, not 2 of the last 3 of the last 4. And Stratton's worked 3 of the last 4 as well. He did have yesterday off. So your top 3 arms in that bullpen have all been significantly worked. Is why I would play over 9 if I played it.
A lot of overs today, Toast. Look at you.
I know it's weird, right? I just
on a Sunday, you freak.
On a Sunday before the All-Star break, though.
Is that a thing? I feel like we should have looked at some data on that.
I just feel like I agree with that. But yeah, it's decent weather. Ballpark Crowd has a pretty good weather in Chicago as well. One player prop I do really like in this game, Nolan Arenado over 1.5 total bases at -105. Dude absolutely owns Lucas Giolito, 6 for 5 with a homer, a double, a triple, 3 RBIs. Yeah, I love Nolan Arenado's total bases today. And the fact that it's not at plus money makes me think that the books almost know it's going to hit. So
because Matt's is going to shove, bro. Matt's is going to shove.
That's cool. As long as Arenado hits his 2.5, he gets his 2+ bases. I'm good with that. So
did you at least feel what I was saying about the Cardinals? Yeah,
there's no. I would if I had to. I feel like this is another one where you can take the bookmaker's opening line at -140, and it gives you a clear indication of what their idea on this game is.
Yes.
Now, the money and all that situation has made them change their stance.
Also, the Cardinals bullpen usage because this opens before the last game.
Right. I was going to say that too. So, yeah, there's a lot of other negating factors in that. But fact of the matter is when the bookmakers made this line, they thought St. Louis should be -140. That should tell you enough.
Ding. Nate, are you going with the public or are you going with me or neither?
I'm going with the over. Over 9. This screams over 9. Like I had like 3 bullet points written down and the very first one was over 9.
The entire point.
Like we're Steven Matz, I know that you said you don't think he's as bad as what that ERA says he is. I fully think that he is. I live in the Midwest. I'm a Cardinals fan. Watching that guy just makes you want to gouge your eyes out. So it just feels like over 9 is just a smash play, which will probably get us in a heap of trouble. But that's where I'm going.
All right. So both of you leaning over. I got to figure out maybe to run a second poll and see how everyone feels about the total. You guys are all over the totals today.
What did the White Sox come in at?
So White Sox dominated the poll. Community is 53% on Chicago, 31% on St. Louis, and 15% on pass. So pretty heavy on the White Sox here.
I've played more totals today than I have in 2 months.
I know you're feeling crazy today with the totals.
It's just hard to get behind a side sometimes.
Side note, Toast said that Arenado was 6 for 5, so that's how good he is against.
Yeah, look at that. That's
6 for 5. That's swinging a hot bat, man. That is swinging a hot bat.
Just wait tonight. You're gonna see what I'm talking about.
All right, now don't say anything, Toast. I don't want them to know which sides we're on. But you're about to tune into another episode of Toast giving out losers. Mariners at Astros. Toast has the wrong bet in this one, and I want everyone to cast their vote first because I don't want anyone to side with me or Toast. All right, bunch of bets in. So, the winning bet in this game is the Houston Astros money line. What is that? Plus 100, I think, right now, somewhere in that region. It's somewhere close to there. So, Logan Gilbert coming off a complete game shutout. Now going into Houston with his value at an all-time high. I know he's got actually some solid history against Houston, which probably Toast planned to tell you. He does have decent history. He's pitched okay against the Astros. I don't like the spot for him. I think this is the ultimate sell-high spot for Logan Gilbert. Now, you could say the same thing about Brandon Belak coming off hit by far his best start of the season. He just threw 7 shutout innings at home against the Rockies. He did get rocked in a trip to Seattle back in April. But there's something about Brandon Belak. He's got excellent splits at home. At home, Brandon Belak's got a 2.73 ERA and a 3.89 expected FIP. So Brandon Belak has an excellent, rolling his eyes. Oh, statistics are offensive.
You say those numbers and neglect to say it's against Oakland and Colorado and Minnesota. Like, those numbers sound great, but when
they are great. Well, first of all, expected FIP is supposed to take into account some of that, not all of it, but it's supposed to take into account the quality of the lineup you faced, or the ballpark at least. Either way, Brandon Belak's much better at home. And when he got rocked by the Mariners back in April, not only was it, his second start of the year, but it was in Seattle, where he's been way worse on the road. Seattle's lineup got hot for a second, but we've seen them do this all year. They get super hot, and then they fall flat on their face. What did they do last night? Fell flat on their face. They're about to... Mariners lineup will get hot again at some point this season. It'll be after the break. They're done. They're packing it in. Houston money line.
Yeah, Houston's so hot, scoring 5 runs in the last 3 days. They are the hottest team on the planet. Woo! I don't love the fact that Seattle's super public, but Seattle first 5 run line and Seattle on the money line. Logan Gilbert's still the bet on pitcher for me. He's been very good to me this year. I don't bet him every single start, but I definitely bet him on the road. I don't get it with the Astros. They're one of my favorite teams to bet on and stuff like that, but I just don't really like how they're playing baseball right now. And I think this means a lot more to Seattle. And then on top of that, if you take a look at the bullpens, that Houston bullpen is kind of worked. Presley worked last night. Hector Neris went back-to-back nights, and Brian Abreu went last night too. So those top 3 arms all went 20+ last night. One of them worked 2 of the last 3 nights. The Mariners are more than comfortable playing this Astros team. I hate that it's super public and stuff like that. So that's the only thing that's like making me pull the emergency brake on this, because it's really hard to get excited when a play is just backed by everybody. So, but
no, I love that. I love that everyone's on it.
I'm sure you do, because you got the other side, you freaking clown. So
I don't know. I love it.
So anyway, but that's my spiel. I don't believe in Sauce is right. Seattle's offense can fall flat on their face, but one team scored 17 runs the last 3 days. The other one scored 5. So you tell me which one's more ethical.
We'll see. Time will tell, but it will be Houston. Nate, wow. I clicked on that by accident. I'm sorry. Nate, you have a pick for this game?
Yeah, so I'm glad that you guys had some strong feels on these game. I was not really getting a good vibe either way, and usually when that happens, so I tend to just go to our sims and our projections, and over at OddsShopper we have 59% X win rate on the Astros plus 1.5. So if I went somewhere, that would be where.
Where's the odds on that? Is that like minus 200?
It's not. Trust me, it's not great.
Oh, it's only minus 155. I thought it would be like way more than that.
Yeah, so that's
actually not that bad of a price.
Yeah, minus 155 isn't great. It's not bad.
That is,
but
I would have guessed it was going to be like minus 180 at least.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. So, and our poll sides with Toast. 51% Seattle, 37% Houston, 11% pass. A lot of the polls siding with you today, Toast. Oh man. We need to get like a public hat and just pass it back and forth, whoever's being the most public on the day.
Virtually?
Yeah, like or maybe we each have one.
Touche.
Because you'd always be wearing it. Rockies at Giants. This is the hardest pass of all time. Don't even want to say a word about it. Don't care. No interest.
I would play if you put a gun to my head, I would play Logan Webb to record a win. I'm trying to pull up that price right now, but yeah, I think in my reasoning behind that is because Logan Webb plus 120 to record a win, that actually scares the hell out of me. So never mind. Yeah.
Scratch that.
Yeah. It's really hard not to like the Giants here with Kyle Freeland being so bad. And obviously, if you watch this show every day, you should know that, that Logan Webb is very, very good at home. Took a shot with Colorado in the first 5 yesterday. Didn't really work out. It's hard to believe that this team is going to show up today against Logan Webb at home. So I'd play Logan Webb to record a win because it's a lot cheaper. But seeing it at plus 120 kind of scares me a little bit. So pass.
Nate?
Yeah, I had 3 words written: Kyle Freeland bad. But
a deep dive.
Yeah, I was really trying to conserve time. I looked at it, I'm like, I'm not doing anything with this game. Hardest pass of all time, like you said.
And like Toast said, like I would love to find a way to bet the Giants, whether it's a Logan Webb win, whether it's a first 5-run line, a Giants double result. But I don't really trust the Giants right now either. I feel like this is a huge price for them.
I agree with that. It's a giant price for a team that's like what 2-8 their last 10 or something.
If you rewind 4 weeks, even before that win streak, because obviously the Giants during the win streak, everyone knows you could have trusted them then. But even before that, this lineup was consistently producing. Like it was hot against righties, then it got hot against lefties. There was a clear-cut pattern that you could follow with the Giants. That doesn't exist anymore. I'm still trying to. I don't think I've bet a Giants game in like 5 days now because I'm still trying to get a feel for this team.
They're consistently going like this. Their last 30 games, they're 19-11. Their last 20 games, they're 11-9. Their last 10 games, they're 7-3. So it's just
7-3 or 3-7.
3-7.
Yeah,
sorry.
I was gonna say. Well,
I'm getting them mixed up this morning every time.
All right, let's move on to. We have 2 games left. Mets at Padres. Me and Toast disagree on this one, but I don't think either of us really love it, so it's not like we're going to war. I am going to bet Padres on the money line, but what Toast is going to tell you about the Padres bullpen is 1,000% accurate. Like, he's not kidding. He's probably going to tell you about how gassed and how unreliable the bullpen's been. He's not lying at all. That's true. I just think there's such an edge. Joe Musgrove at home against Max Scherzer on the road. And, I mean, you could even take the home. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me run a poll on this one. This is a good one to run a poll on. Damn it. God damn it. Mets, Padres, pass. There we go. So I think, personally, I know that, like, at first glance, and you look at the season numbers, Max Scherzer, 8-2, 4.03 ERA, and, like, you look at the names, you might think, like, Battle of the Titans. Max Scherzer, lately, ignore what his numbers look like, even though some of them look bad. Yo, his slider just doesn't work anymore. I don't know how else to explain that. That was his put-away pitch. I don't trust Max Scherzer at all. I certainly don't trust him against this Padres lineup. And Joe Musgrove is becoming a guy that you can blindly trust without even looking at his numbers. Like, I don't even care what his expected FIP said the last 4 games because I know I can trust this guy. He's one of the most dominant starting pitchers in baseball. So I just feel like there's such an edge with the Padres in the first 5. Favorite bet would probably be Padres first 5, but I'm going to stick to the full game. Despite the Padres bullpen not only gas but being shitty, they're like, in no world can you rely on the Mets bullpen to have the advantage. So I don't care if the Padres have to call up their AA team and bring that bullpen up. It's still like a toss-up. It's still a toss-up on who has the better bullpen because the Mets bullpen is that bad. So I'll take the Padres on the money line. I don't think minus 125 is an unreasonable price.
Yeah, I lean the Padres too.
I thought you had Mets. My bad.
No, I haven't bet this game. It's just really hard for me. I really want to bet the first. Okay, first and foremost, I've said this for a couple weeks now. I'm going to continue to stand on it. Joe Musgrove and Blake Snell are the best 1-2 punch in Major League Baseball right now.
Pause on the Snell. Joe Musgrove's the best one.
Pause on the Snell. Do you want me to pull up Snell's numbers?
I've been watching him, and he doesn't impress me the last couple. He's falling off. Watch what happens to Snell after the break.
You want to bet that? We'll talk about that this show. Okay, so Josh Hader has worked 4 of the last 5 days, 4 of the last 6 days. Nick Martinez, 2 of the last 3 days, 3 of the last 4. Tim Cosgrove, who's a name that you guys should remember. Him and Suarez are going to be the 2 guys that set it up. Hopefully they send Nick Martinez.
I like Suarez. I like Suarez, though.
I love Suarez and I love Cosgrove. Nick Martinez is,
Nick Martinez not available, though, right?
No, he's not going to be available. I'm just saying in general.
That's a positive.
Yeah. Exactly. I would agree with that. So, but again, Garcia's worked 2 of the last 3 days as well. Tim Hill is fresh with his haircut, but he is just trash.
He sucks.
So, yeah, he does. So, it's just, I would love to get to the Mets here, but I just really can't trust Max Scherzer on the road. They do have a rested bullpen, but at the same time, the Padres did see all those guys, I'm pretty sure a couple nights ago. So, yeah, I lean the Padres. I don't love it. It's pretty public, isn't it?
Not really. Public's kind of split. Sharps are on Padres.
So I lean the Padres, especially with, like I said, I think Musgrove and Snell are bet on pitchers right now, but that bullpen just really, really scares me. You're not going to see the major guys. So Padres first 5 on the run line for me if I had to make one.
Just to respond to one of the comments on me getting accused of being a Snell hater. For the record, I bet on Snell against the Angels, not his last start, the start before that. And when I tell you this dude deserved to give up 11 runs, I was lucky as hell to cast that bet. So I think this dude is just riding on, he's got a horseshoe up his ass, as Toast likes to say.
Since May 25th, Blake Snell, 9 games, 53 innings, 4 runs. That's a .68 ERA, 22 walks, 84 strikeouts.
Yeah, the numbers are good, but the numbers can't measure overall morale and swagger, which he's lacking, and he just...
Yeah, it's off the charts. I agree.
Toast, just to give you an example of how biased he is, he calls him Snellzilla, and like is dead serious when he says it. Snellzilla.
Okay, Schmitty.
All right, Nate, you have a play on this one?
How many of those 84 strikeouts did Snell get against the Rays in that one Saturday game? Well, I think, was it like 79? I think he struck out 79
at least 90% of them.
Yeah. That was wild.
He's pissed. He's like, I'm alone.
I think it was like, wasn't it like 14, 15 maybe?
Oh, I'm going to find it in a second.
It was a big number. I'm probably going, probably Nerfy. I like the Nerfy on this, Norman first inning, but if I did have to lean some way, it'd probably be Padres money line. Yeah.
I mean, it's tough with Musgrove and the way Scherzer's been pitching, or I should say, the lack of Scherzer pitching. I think you would have to lean Padres here.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one, which is Pittsburgh at Arizona, and I was like trying to find ways to bet this game.
Did you see the game last night?
I didn't watch a single pitch of it.
Dude, what a disgrace.
What was it? Like in extras, right? It went to extra innings?
Yeah, it was extras, and the Pirates had every single way to win, and they choked it away, and the D-backs finally somehow won. I have no idea, but it was a weird game last night for sure. The Pirates scored in the 10th. Arizona came back and scored. Arizona scored 1 run in the 8th, 2 runs in the 10th, and 1.
Wow. All right, so the poll, by the way, was 49% Padres, 37% Mets, 13% pass on that last one. I don't have a play on this one. I don't know if you guys do. I don't have any interest in betting this.
Me neither. I can't even pronounce Moldasinski right, so.
Yeah. I saw that this morning, and I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, I'm good. See, when I did the graphics last night, it was a guy named Aldridge, or Cal Aldred. Now it's somebody else. Who cares? All right,
exactly.
Let's move on to. Oh, by the way, first let's play the cool graphic. I'll have you guys know that I've now hit 2 underdogs in a row. No one cares. No one gives me props. I'm just a underdog pick'em machine. So yeah, I've now hit 2 consecutive. Here's yesterday's. Actually, Luke Weaver pushed. So it would have been a slightly lower payout than the full 6, but I've now hit 2 in a row. And let's pull up
1.5.
What is the payout?
Oh no, you've only hit 1.5.
No, that's a hit. It just didn't. Get the hell out of here. That's 2 hits in a row. 2 hits in a row. I'm going for 3 in a row now. If you don't have, you know what? Let me pull up the map first. If you don't have Underdog, here is where it's available. And all the states that are highlighted in orange You just download the Underdog app or go to the website. Make sure you use the promo code BET to get your $100 match. So if you deposit $100, you get $100 free. BET bet. All right.
Shout out Underdog for coming to the AK too. Shout out.
Oh, is it up in Alaska now? Dope.
It says so on the map. I'm going to download it today.
Oh, nice. Make sure you use promo code BET. Get your free $100. All right. Here's today's. And I'm going for 3 straight. I am the hottest underdog on the planet. Dane Dunning. Higher than 2.5 earned runs. I like the Nats bats. Scooble. Higher than 2.5 earned runs. Bounce back spot for Toronto. And Shane Bieber deals once again against Kansas City like he does every single time. You can set your watch to it. So that's my 3 pick. Going for 3 in a row. Shall we do the community parlay?
Absolutely.
Shall we get down with the community parlay? Community parlay. There we go. Let's get it going. For those of you who don't know what this is, we vote on our favorite legs. I shouldn't say we don't vote. You guys vote on your favorite legs, and we all combine and make a parlay together that we bet and usually lose together. So we'll start.
Parlays usually lose? Come on.
Oh, yeah. 4-leg parlays lose? What?
Crazy.
Red Sox money line. Guardians money line. Let's go Braves money line. Did people like the Blue Jays or the Tigers? I think people like the Blue Jays, so I'll go Blue Jays. There you go. First leg. Vote it up. This community parlay should pay off my student loans. That's exactly why we do it. This is a student loan forgiveness parlay.
Student loan forgiveness parlay? That's so good.
God damn it.
What happened?
It's like the books. Oh, they're catching on to all my hit and run plays. It's starting to piss me off.
Well, that's what happens when you hit on the same prop every day for 3 weeks. They raise the price.
I know, but now I was getting like plus 100, minus 115 with JP Crawford for like a week straight, and now it's at minus 145. I'm like, ugh. Still gonna play it, but damn it.
5, 4, 3, 2. Cleveland makes the docket. Beats out the Braves. So Guardians money line is the first leg.
Kind of like that.
Yeah. I mean, I know that there's a lot of sharps out there on Kansas City, but I'm sticking to my guns with Cleveland. Let's go. Next, we're gonna have Phillies or Marlins. I think the votes came in on the Marlins.
Yeah, it did.
Twins. The votes came in on the no. Orioles won that poll. Reds or Brewers. Reds obviously won the poll. Cardinals, White Sox won that poll. All right, second leg. That's why the polls are key during the show, because then it shows me who to put on there. Actually, I didn't even think about that till just now. And what do you know? Reds are going to be on the community parlay for the 11th straight month.
Shocker.
Reds are always on the community parlay. And I think I can cut this one off early. It's Reds by a landslide. Yep, Reds by a landslide. Second leg, Reds money line. Let's go third leg.
You know how finicky this business is? You know the Reds are like plus 110 right now? If they were minus 105, I'd be like all in. Because in my head, I'd be like, oh, the books don't want to give me plus money.
Yeah.
Give me that money. Give me that minus 105.
Oh, I absolutely agree. So let's go Mets. Do they like the Mets or no, they like the Padres. Padres money line. Or I'm going to put the D-backs money line. We didn't talk about the game, but they are minus 160 favorites against the Pirates at home. So, I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that would like to use the D-backs money line in a parlay. I just personally didn't see a ton of value on the game at the price.
I mean, if they don't beat the Pirates, come on now.
I know. Like, turn your dick in.
Yeah, word.
Wow. Deadlock. Mariners, Giants, Padres, all in an exact tie at 30%. This is a heated vote for the third leg. If you like one of those top 3 teams, I would come vote now because I'm cutting this off in about 6 seconds.
Holy
shit, they're all tied. Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
do
this
4
is
legs, but
wild.
for the last
All right.
leg, I do the second place finisher in the first three votes.
Oh, you're good. I just didn't want to put them in until we were finished. That's all.
Oh, okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I think Padres got it, but let's confirm. Padres win. Guardians money line, Reds money line, Padres money line, and finally, last leg coming. So the Braves, Orioles, and Giants. Those are our 3 second place finishers. Which one do we want to add, folks?
I mean, I'd be interested to see what that Braves plus money cooks this up.
And there's
to.
already a Reds plus money. Yeah. Oh my God, everyone's voting Braves.
966.
What's up
966.
with the Braves?
Yeah, you know they're gonna win. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean that's wow. They're winning by a landslide.
Yeah.
All right, I can end this. It's Braves. So it's
Yeah.
966 with those 4 toast.
Yeah, or actually on FanDuel you can make it 1005.
Well,
so
let's get it into 4 digits.
Yeah.
All right, community parlay is as followed: Guardians money line, Reds money line, Padres money line, Braves money line, plus 1,005 odds. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy your All-Star break. I'm probably going to put something out, like a how-to video on something. So if you guys want to send me DMs or something on ideas, on things you'd like to hear me talk about. I know everyone liked the What is a Round Robin bet video. People like them. They get like hundreds of thousands of views, those videos. Oh, the problem is I don't have time to make them in my day-to-day stuff. So during this time off, I can make one. If there's something you'd like to hear me talk about, send me a DM or whatever. Let me know. Or type it in the comments right now before we close, and I'll check them all out later. Everyone, as we said in the beginning, it's Sunday, the last day before the All-Star break. There's not a ton of betting value. Please don't overextend yourselves today. There could be a lot of weird shit. Bet responsibly. Keep your unit size down today. Nate, thanks for joining us. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. We appreciate him taking time out of his day to join. Everyone, enjoy the next few days. And have a good one, man. Enjoy your Sunday.
appreciate you guys all showing up.